So here's the thing about Queen Maeve from The Boys. She is probably one of the least discussed characters from that show, at least from what I've seen, and yet I considered her to be the truest hero that the show has ever had. I mean, not only is she insanely strong and durable, like how is this woman still alive, but she also has one of the greatest and most resilient hearts out of any character of the main cast, rivaled perhaps by Annie now. I don't know if she'll appear in season 4, I doubt it, and I will definitely miss her presence in the series as a whole. She was just so easy to like, not just because of her legendary quotes like,
"Take your fucking twink and get the fuck out of here!"
but also because when it comes down to it, she is a good person who wants to do right and just things. And even though she had her severe faults, she admitted them. And she slid back, but ultimately came through whenever it was needed. Plus, although I don't see a ton of discussion about her, I also don't see any negative discussion, which is so wonderful to see in this usually very divisive show. I mean, I am PosiTVty, you know, that's what I'm looking for. But does anyone even really hate her? Because I can only come up with reasons to like her, really, and one of those is the fact that she is the truest hero out of anyone on the show. I know this is a bold statement. I really do, especially when we have Starlight and Frenchie and Kimiko, but Maeve has shown so many times that she was thrust great power upon her when she never really asked for it or wanted it. In fact, she actively resents her powers, and I think that aspect really affects her opinion of herself and is the reason why she struggles so much through the seasons to be that good hero that she believes she needs to be, and with her image of herself. But this reason is also one of the largest causes for why I think that she is the most honest and genuine hero the Seven and the show has ever had. She never aimed for this career or wanted it, but when it counts, she still chooses to use her power for good, and that counts for much more when you never really asked for it. She is one of the only higher-up soups that is not a overt piece of shit. She's not great, she self-medicates, she's rather rude, but when it counts, she does take care of the people around her. Take Starlight. When she first joined the Seven, Maeve really wanted to avoid and have nothing to do with her, likely because she saw herself in her. But she just couldn't help but give her advice and care for her emotionally. She saw a bit of herself in Annie and felt the need to help. And I think that's why I love Annie so much too. She's really starting to become a young Maeve of her own right. But when the Deep took advantage of her and Maeve saw her in the bathroom, she just had to give her advice. It was curt, because she's Maeve, but it was sincere and it came from experience. Maeve knows how important it is not to show weakness around the men in the Seven and how dangerous Starlight's new position can be. She just can't help but do those good things because she is truly a good person, even if she never wanted to be a hero. And then when Starlight's position is compromised when Homelander connects her to the boys, Maeve completely stands up for her, and this isn't subtle or curt either. She goes out of her way to stand up for Starlight. To one of the scariest men on the planet, by the way. Yes, it is because she sees herself in Annie and feels that automatic need to protect her younger self, but I think it's also because she just genuinely cares about people around her she understands and feels can be better. Even Huey is included in that, despite being a suspected twink. And she saves Starlight from Black Noir in season 2. She hardly even knows what's going on there, but she knows that Annie is a good person who was wrongfully imprisoned, and that she's the only one who can do something about it. And then when Starlight asks for her help in the growing issue with Stormfront, she becomes aggressive and refuses, but still ends up turning up for them.
Hey, crowd.
That's the thing about Maeve. She's cynical. She doesn't think that anything can change, but she does care about those around her and will always come to their aid when they actually need it. And that's what makes her the most true hero. She even asks A-Train how he is and shows genuine concern for his well-being near the start of season 2, even though he doesn't even deserve it. She's just an undeniably good person even with her faults, for these people who aren't even actually decent human beings. She understands their struggles and she feels the need to help them, even though she really never wanted to be around them. It's crazy. She is just such a good person. Overall, it's her intention to do good despite not caring about being a hero. In fact, actively hating being a hero because it prevents her from living the life she wants to live. It's rare to see that in this show. I mean, even Annie started out wanting to be famous and a part of the Seven. Yeah, she wanted to save people too, but being a performer was definitely an aspect, much thanks to her controlling mother. Stupid fucking child beauty pageants. But Maeve never wanted any of that. We only ever see her desire to live a normal, happy life with the woman she loves, and I think that's really admirable, and what makes the best and most genuine heroes. It's really a shame to lose her, honestly. Another reason is that she's insanely resilient. I mean, physically and emotionally. They don't call her Brave Maeve for nothing. I mean, she takes an absolute beating throughout the series. I mean, she's an absolute tank when you think about it. She's fought directly with Homelander and was able to make significant progress. He took her freaking eye out and she kept going. She is the definition of resilience and perseverance, and she never backs down from her goals. I mean, God, Soldier Boy basically blew her up, and she lived through it. She is just this show's punching bag. Sorry, was. Thank God she's not around more, and she doesn't have to take any more of those punches from the show's writers. But her emotional resilience is probably what's even more stunning. Homelander kept her as a trophy for years, and although we never see them date actually in the show, we can see the effects of their relationship on Maeve's emotional and mental state. She's afraid to have an intimate relationship with anyone because Homelander held her so close and violently destroyed anyone who would mildly show any interest in her.
And he chatted me up all night. 2 days later, there's a fire in his office. They found his head in one room and his torso in another.
She had no freedom for years. So, despite the fact that she was in love with someone who actually understood her and that she could be with, she was willing to put it aside to keep them safe because she knows how dangerous Homelander can be. She put herself through that pain to keep the person she loves from harm. And then, when Homelander does eventually find out about Elena, he outs them on live television. And she somehow does not have a mental breakdown live during that interview. I genuinely would have lost it, that's for damn sure. But she just takes it in stride somehow. And then Vought puts together that god-awful PR strategy where she's not even allowed to be bisexual.
You know Maeve is bi, right?
Yeah, you know what? I just feel like lesbian is a bit of an easier sell, a bit more cut and dry.
She has to pretend to be a lesbian so it would sell better. Super accurate, by the way, and I'll get into this more later. But Maeve goes on. She sulks, she self-medicates, but she goes the fuck on. And she helps Annie, and she picks herself back up and decides to do something instead of wallowing about Homelander and Vought and her hopeless situation. She goes to Butcher and gives him Temp V, maybe not the greatest thing, but she is actually trying and not just wallowing and indulging in her self-destructive tendencies. And by the way, her beating doesn't calm down in season 3 either. She's imprisoned by Vought and drugged to keep her from fighting back, but she still holds her own. First of all, she trains so that she can fight Homelander when she's ready, and second of all, she still holds a brave face when Homelander tries to put the screws in her. In fact, she's even able to muster a smile. I always respected how she was able to bounce back after facing extreme adversity and how she never seemed to care about the odds that were stacked against her. Another reason is that she doesn't shy away from conflict. I mean, she is definitely not afraid to stand up to others. I mean, forget the fact that she just straight up ignores Ashley, pretty much everything Vought tells her to do, but she is willing to challenge Homelander. And I'm not just talking about the fight at the end of season 3 either, although that is a huge reason why people love her, I feel like. She stands up for Starlight to Homelander and is willing to actually speak out against him. She's probably the only one in the Seven who actually could, and it was refreshing to see her utilize that power. Even though Homelander could probably kill her after a long fight, she definitely would present a major challenge, she did dare to challenge him, and Homelander definitely respected that at times and would actually give her the win, as we can see with Starlight. I mean, even at the end of season 2, without him respecting her, she straight up was willing to blackmail him into submission, and succeeded. But also, yeah, at the end of season 3, lots of people criticized Butcher for not going through with the plan to take out Homelander with Soldier Boy, but when Butcher was busy dealing with that issue, Maeve stayed on course, and I can't believe she doesn't get more credit for willingly taking on Homelander without any of the backup she brought with her. Deciding to continue the mission and pick a fight with Homelander when he's also actively avoiding her takes some serious pluck, and she has got that in spades. I mean, he takes a punch and still is willing to let her walk away, but she doesn't. That is so not John, which is even more of a testament to how hard Maeve works to achieve what she believes is right. By the way, she does definitely support Butcher for going after Soldier Boy. She doesn't try to stop that from happening either, and you can see her concern for Ryan when Soldier Boy begins to charge up and explode him. Yes, he definitely intended to kill Ryan there. He was literally about to full blast this kid at point blank range. But Maeve understands that and then still goes to what she needs to do. I respect the hell out of it. Another reason is that she does not tolerate bullshit. I love the way she treats Ashley and Vaught and all the PR bullshit that she has to put up with throughout the series. She's not only resilient and is able to bear through it, but she also just flat out gives them the finger or calls them out for being absolute fucking troglodytes.
Ashley, for once in your life, be a fucking human being.
She's completely honest and not afraid to tell them that she does not need to listen to them. It's Homelander-esque in the way that he feels he doesn't have to listen to anyone. She doesn't either, but it's more out of resentment for Vaught putting her in her situation, I feel, rather than superiority. And I think that's why it's so endearing to me and many others. I especially love that she's willing to call out other supes, even Homelander. She does not take shit from anyone and will always stand up if she feels it is necessary, and that earns a lot of respect from most people, including me. Saying what's actually on your mind and being true to who you are extremely commendable traits and something that cannot be found in a lot of people nowadays. And the last reason is that she is actually an extremely important character, culturally. Bisexual representation is not something that is super easy to come by, even nowadays, especially when it is covered in such a realistic way. The way in which they're able to convey how bisexual representation is treated in pop culture is actually really groundbreaking. Vaught telling her that she can't present herself as bisexual because lesbians are an easier sell, and then going further to try and get her girlfriend to dress more masculine to fit heterosexual relationship standards established is absolutely insane. You have to understand that this is something that has quietly been going on in real life for decades. I mean, people have addressed it. Not the people writing these characters, but people have addressed it and criticized shows for it. But acceptance of queer people is always met with certain conditions, where people might be willing to accept the idea of queerness, as long as it doesn't directly contradict the standards that they're already used to. It's why gay marriage was at the forefront of the gay rights movement for a long while. It was going to be the easiest to acquire because it fits neatly into what has already been done by straight people, even if a lot of queer people aren't really so interested in marriage. But it's also easier for gay men or lesbian women to acquire that understanding and acceptance just because it's closer to what straight people are used to. And bisexuality often doesn't fit neatly into those boxes. I mean, people often criticize characters when they come out as bisexual, saying that it always comes out of nowhere because we've already seen them with men or women or whatever, when that really doesn't matter at all. People develop feelings when they develop feelings. You can't really control that. But addressing all of that directly and choosing to represent bisexuality at all should be applauded, and especially if it is done tastefully and respectfully, as it is here. Relationships aren't flaunted for the sake of being diverse. We can genuinely see why Elena and Maeve are such a good match, but Maeve still has sex with men and enjoys it. Why not? And they didn't kill her off. I was so relieved. We did not, in fact, bury the gays this time. To see her get a happy ending is even more heartening for this bit of representation, and although I'm sad to see her go, I'm super happy we got her at all, because she is a truly important character for this generation that I don't think was talked about enough, and I would like to see a little bit more discussion for her. So I hope this video helped you understand why I love Maeve so much, and why there shouldn't really be any hate towards her, because she actually is a true hero, and in this very corrupt universe that The Boys is set in, we don't get to see that enough. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments what you would like to see next, and also like and subscribe. I appreciate all the support. It's really helpful to me, and it means a ton. But if you want to support us even more, you can go to patreon.com/PosiTVty. That's PosiTVty. There, you get all these videos early. You get the drafts of the videos, so if you want to hear all my mistakes, like, guys, if you listen to this ending gibberish and you love it and you think it's stupid, just wait until you go on the Patreon and you watch the unedited versions of these videos. They are actual messes. You'll hear me talk to myself, stumble, a bunch of stuff that I don't want you to see. But anyway, just, yeah, go there if you want to support me more. This video is getting rather long. This is one of the most poorly executed videos I've ever done. I'm so sorry. I hope I can edit this to be something acceptable. But, you know, if you liked it, good for you. I mean...